Hello and welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. I hope you're well, readers. Thanks for tuning in. The shadowy figures that I answer to have told me that I must ask you to subscribe, or to quote directly from their email, there will be consequences. If you're interested in game design, specifically Pathfinder and all of the multivarious editions of Dungeons and Dragons, well, we have a bit of a treat for you coming up shortly. We have a bonus chat, an episode coming out in the next few days, where we talk to Jason Bullman, who is the designer of the Pathfinder role-playing game and Pathfinder 2, and is the director of games at Paizo. We talk about the maths and the philosophy of game design, the way things evolve through various editions. A fascinating little chat, so look out for that. Otherwise, I have no news or information. As always, you can find us on social media. As always, you can email us at hello@billowinghilltop.com. That's it. Let us push on with episode 208 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, Train in Vain. Hello, everyone. I'm here with the gang.
Hello.
I can't remember where we were.
We're in a cage.
There's no Dan. Sorry, readers, there's no Dan. I know he is the main attraction of this little D&D on the radio program. He is still, I don't know, in Narnia or something. But I'm here with Johnny, easing himself into his specially adapted high chair. His longshipness, Graham. The wiggly pipes and lights of Paul.
Good evening.
And Dr. Eusebio Spider Lucas. It's very hot, readers. Lucas, yes. Graham and I, obviously, the physiology doesn't work with Paul, and there's a special exemption for Johnny, but the rest of us are wearing our special Billowing Hilltop mankinis.
I've got gout at the moment.
Have you?
Gout in my ankle.
What, like King George the IV or something?
Yeah, so much about physique.
Doesn't it normally start in the toe or something?
Well, it's usually in the toe, this time it's the ankle.
That sounds particularly unpleasant.
I had slightly
We're all
more
knocking
beer
on a
than
bit,
I
readers, as you
normally.
will have noticed.
Yeah.
Might have been asparagus, actually.
Put your foot up on Paul.
No.
Just use him as a sort of footstool.
This asparagus
Oh,
bad
no,
for gout.
thanks. Might
Paul's
break
overheating
something.
a bit, by the way, readers. So we've done what all IT professionals do in these instances, which is get 3 fans from a pound shop. Stick them in there with them and put them on full blast, so you can't hear that noise in the background.
Now I'm working on a water cooling system.
Oh, I've got to remember a voice from last time. I knew there was something I had to do.
As long as it's not connected to Thames water.
Stormlord. It's that kind of voice, wasn't it? It was that person. Yeah, that'll do. Where we left things. Buggie is off on his own. He went ethereal, disappeared, has had his own little adventures. Readers, you're aware of them. The other players are not, because we have been playing in the broom cupboard. No, I'm going to rephrase that. Because we have been in the broom cupboard.
Playing with yourselves.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Language, Timothy.
It's the family show. And
It's not.
the others have sort of dawdled, that's a way of putting it,
Yes.
because they were faced with
Very
levers and
succinct.
this cage that nobody understands. I've been listening back, readers, and you'll have heard this as well.
Yeah, but
readers.
we've done fuck all for
They-
2 sessions.
The cage just completely, it bewilders me, and it's entirely bewildered them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the whole cage inside a letterbox analogy again.
No.
Yeah. We got completely the wrong impression.
I think what we have established is that it is not a lift.
Yeah.
It took a while to discover that.
Yeah.
A passageway leads out into the abyss that just stops, stuck on the end of it to stop you falling into the abyss, if you like a shark cage. It's this iron cage. It's the only thing preventing the seething mass of carrion crawlers from reaching our heroes. You can walk into the cage from where they are because there's like an open bit. They've established that there's a lid at the top or some kind of gate at the top, and they've established that there's all sorts of cables and wires and stuff that may trigger all sorts of effects. But what it isn't is an elevator, which was the misapprehension they laboured under for about, about
6 hours.
2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks, something like that.
And the rope that's hanging down.
And there's a rope hanging down.
Is that tied to the top of the cage, or is that hanging?
So the top of the cage is made up of bars, like any cage, like any
and the rope is
self-respecting
tied
cage.
to that.
One of those bars, one very near the entrance to the level above you. So directly above your little egress from this complex and into the cage, above the roof of the cage, there is another way in. I think the analogy we've used is 2 hotel room balconies. You're in one, and the room above you, or 2 above you, and all of that. That noise you heard was Johnny slamming the door
Johnny
of the broom
went to
cupboard.
the broom cupboard.
Readers. He's decided he doesn't want to hear this. Right. Scaly stepped out into the cage. He's invisible. You're all invisible apart from Purple.
Yeah.
And he heard a voice shout down, "Are you a servant of the Smoke Lord?" Then said it had been sent back to find you by the Smoke Lord.
Yes.
One other thing, by the way. Dan isn't here, he has left me a note. I'll put it on the fridge about how he should be. How Burple should behave. But there's not like a 4-point plan for whatever, like Johnny's the other time. It's literally one instruction. Don't let me forget. When the time comes, I'll have to refer to it. This is on your turn because we're still using the old initiative sequence just to give us some kind of sense of.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? This thing is looking down at you. It's one of those that wait.
I'll go.
You think?
How do we get to you?
Tricky. I could open the gate on the roof of the cage, but you must watch out for the worms.
How do we avoid the worms?
Tricky. Not entirely sure. It's not something that I've had to worry about before.
Okay.
Coldtooth always controlled the worms, but now she's gone, and as a result, I am free.
Who's Holdtooth?
Free! Coldtooth was the custodian of this place.
Ah.
Chief alchemist. The creator of the crawler loads.
That's what he says.
But we're trying to go down into the pit, aren't we?
It's very dangerous down there. I've never been down there.
We're looking for the key.
The key? That is not familiar to me. I have many things to tell you. I have a story to impart.
Can you not do it here?
But perhaps first we should work out how to get you either up here or get me down there. Perhaps you could... I have an idea.
Why didn't you come down here?
It disappears.
Okay.
It doesn't disappear, like, disappears, but it steps back out of the light and out of sight from you. I think that's kind of it. Parker, do you want to do anything on 9? We're not going to religiously follow this thing, but just to give us a sense of...
Yes, I'd just like to see up. So if I poke my head or stand at the edge of this cage, basically next to where Scaly is.
On the lip.
And looking up. So how far up above is the next balcony?
It is 30 feet up. So the cage is... We have gone backwards and forwards on this a bit.
Yeah,
I know this has been confusing.
I've completely forgotten everything we discussed last week, so...
There are different ways that it's described in the text, which makes it complicated. What I do know is this. The base of the cage is level with your level.
Yeah.
And the roof of the cage is level with the level above. And the cage is 30 foot high. So... Right. And therefore...
Around the rope...
Yes.
He mentioned something about opening the roof of the cage.
Yes, there is a gate of sorts in the roof of the cage. Right. It's like a 10-foot by something gate.
So he can pull that up, basically.
You're about to find out, you suspect?
Okay, and around there, so let's assume, so I'm making a guess, that he would to open that cage thing, and then basically one could climb up the rope, and one would be at the level of the...
You'd be at the roof of the cage, and you just need to be able to climb through the roof of the cage in order to be at the same level as the rooms above you, whatever they are above you. Yeah.
And along that path, taking that path, how many carrion crawlers are there to negotiate at that point?
Oh, I mean, there's a I'll roll a number. This is the number of carrion crawlers currently wiggling around on the roof of the cage, which is the number that would be close enough to the gate that you would have to worry about. There are currently 2 carrion crawlers only clambering around on the actual roof of the cage.
And what's stopping the carrion crawlers going into the second balcony, the upper balcony?
You don't know, but they don't seem to go there.
Right. So one suggestion would be a quick fireball in the area of the roof of the cage to basically clean out the...
Toast a couple of carrion crawlers, free your path, and then,
up the rope. That's basically what I'm thinking of doing then.
Is that what you are doing? Otherwise,
but he's got to open the rope. So basically, he's popped off.
Yeah, you don't know what but you don't know.
So I wait for him to come back, and then I will suggest that, because I don't want to do a fireball, and he's like, no, that will toast us as well.
Got it. What about Sessions on 7?
Call out, where is the Smoke Lord? Isn't that what he said? 7's the Smoke Lord?
You hear a voice faintly shout back,
"The Smoke Lord went in pursuit of Coldtooth."
Okay.
That's it.
And I can get through the bars, can I?
You can, yeah.
And I can avoid a carrion crawler because I can see them, yeah?
You can, yes. There's a couple of carrion crawlers going around. I think if you time your movement correctly, you would be confident that you could go through the roof of the cage and onto the other balcony without encountering one. Is that what you'd like to do?
That's what I'd like to do.
Okay. I'm going to move you, Sessions, to another part of the map. Do you want to do broom cupboard, or should I just describe what you see? Because I don't think there's anything particularly...
You can describe what it slows it. The broom cupboard, I think slows us down. That.
You can see this creature, for starters, when you do this, because it's standing right next to you. You're standing in an area that must be directly above where the others are. Only it's not as open. It's really 2 passageways. One that heads back in, away from the cave, basically the way you came.
seems to take a kind of gentle turn left, south, and then another passageway runs to your south. It's like a dead end and it's full of junk.
Okay.
Bits of burlap, sacking, garbage, and things that maybe look like stretchers, like poles with bits of sacking stretched between them. That's what is there. And right next to you, and just about to do something with a big lever, a big complicated lever that's just inside the archway on the way in, is this one that waits, who's just, oblivious.
I'm invisible.
Is just oblivious and looks like he's about to do something with the lever.
Okay.
But not, crucially, because he is frozen in time through the operation of the initiative system.
I will watch him.
You might be able to drift in a little bit.
I can drift.
So that you can see properly what he's up to.
Yeah, I will probably do that. I'll drift into maybe here so I can see what he's up to.
Burple on 20?
Who's running Burple?
What Burple's note says is, I will always cast mirror image and then invisibility on myself unless in extraordinary circumstances. But I don't think he means now. I think he means in combat, right? Or when threatened.
I would.
So he can just wander about. We can run him by committee.
Didn't we have Burple going off to investigate the...
he was heading down to look at the half spirit.
The half spirit.
Maybe he wants to continue with that.
Yes. Let's have him do that.
What does he want to do with this half spirit?
I'm going saying hello.
Okay. There's no reaction.
How are you, little half spirit? Is it...
There's nothing...
What's life like here? Is it smelly?
Well, it's definitely smelly. I mean, it's really smelly where you are now, guys. By the cages.
Can
the
you
cage
handle the smell
central.
here? Or is this your lot that you have to put up with it?
The half spirit does not respond. I think you get a little bit of... I think I've described that it's like acid green flames with little tendrils, almost prehensile tendrils of smoke, snaking up into the air around the hearth. And they sort of collectively, I don't know how close Burple is getting, but they gently dance towards Burple a little as if they're checking him out, like the whiskers of a cat or the antennae of a slug or something, twitching for a movement. You get the sense that it's definitely an extension of the flames and that they are having a feel of Burple's aura.
Do we in this world understand hearth spirits in the sense that we can tell whether they're benign or not, or do we know what the kind of thing is that hearth spirits would,
Well, they tend to be...
Do they like pieces of cheese or something? Not cheesemen, but, I don't know.
No, they're magical flames.
But
they're like micro-gods, little divine flamelets.
Yes.
They tend to literally be the spirit of the hearth of the house, the home that they inhabit. So they often tend to have sensibilities that align with that. You don't know what that would mean in this instance. Yeah.
But one would tend to give them some kind of offering. I don't know.
Families tend to leave little votive offerings.
Yes, that's...
To their hearth spirits, are kind of like leaving a glass of brandy and a mince pie out for Santa.
Yeah, precisely. So would you do that to a hearth spirit in another house, or would that be considered not done? Or, if you wanted to sort of be nice to another house and then you basically bring the half spirit
standard
mince pie
protocol if you're a guest in a house that you might put a little morsel or symbolic gift on the hearth in order to tip the hearth spirit because you're enjoying its hospitality, but it's symbolic, you think.
Right. Okay. Not necessarily any information to be gleaned.
Most hearth spirits don't communicate. Parker has seen Hesty in the Garm farm in the Cairn Hills as you were travelling to Blackwall Keep the night of the Bugbear raid on the drug deal gone wrong. Hesty sat and spoke to the hearth spirit in a language you couldn't understand, but that seems ever so long ago, but actually it's only about 3 days ago. This is ridiculous in this adventure. It was back in Fumbulary.
It's like a week ago.
Let's say 5 or 6 weeks ago. Yeah. Seems like forever ago. But yes, all that time ago when you were green behind... Well, you're always going to be green behind the ears, Parker. But when you were especially green behind the ears, But Purple could wander up and place a gold coin near the hearth on the floor. I don't know. I mean, okay.
Let's have him do that. And then after he's done that, search the bear
pelts. Yeah, it's not particularly attractive in there. It's got a lot of lice.
Well, using a stick.
Yeah, sure. Well,
tongs.
It's not particularly. Yeah, it's not particularly salubrious.
Okay, but nothing.
It looks like a rather large, unwashed creature.
Nothing hidden.
Has been nestled within them for an extended period of time.
But nothing hidden.
No, there's nothing hidden. No, sorry, no. On 16, this creature, Parker, scaly, you hear a sort of clanking sound above you at a distance, kind of echoes around a little bit, and the gate in the top of the cage is pulled open by a kind of mechanism, and as it's pulling open, this little figure comes darting across, swings round, just makes it inside the gate on the top of the cage and grabs onto a bar, and has clearly not locked the mechanism, because just as they do so, you hear it kind of click, run back the other way, and the whole thing just shut to the gate, clang, and this creature is kind of hanging from the bars at the top of the cage. I'm just going to make a roll.
Right in front of Sessions, basically.
You can't see Sessions. Sessions is long gone.
That was quite a roll.
Yeah, it makes it to the rope and rappels down to join you, Scaly. On 14, I'm afraid I must leave you, and I will make this as quick as possible, but
That's fine.
Go
for
room
it.
cupboard.
Do your worst. Hello.
Hello, it's your turn. We don't need to use maps.
Okay.
If you recall, this dwarven creature that you thumped and then chased and then got with an insect plague, you think it's run for it, fled through a little passageway at the far end of this workroom.
Yeah.
And it must be employing or using, you think, like a mining cart system. There's like tracks and there's a trundling noise. It's got quite a head start on you. You hear more trundling from ahead of you as you plunge into this passageway. You hear it clanker, rumble, whatever, along, come to a halt, and then you hear the sound of footsteps. What do you want to do? Do you want to push on down this passageway? It's sort of snaking its way in a bendy way north, and it's also pitching down.
One of those that wait.
Yeah.
I left one of them to go and trying to help the others up.
Give me a perception check.
18.
Yeah, you can hear it seems to be either shouting or talking, but it seems to be at quite a distance.
Okay. Does it look like it's difficult ground at all, these rails, this corridor?
I suppose it is difficult ground, yes. Now you mention it. It's not a smooth floor that you can freely run along.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is Freedom of Movement spell. It's my last 4th level spell. Lasts an hour. For the duration, I'm unaffected by difficult terrain. Spells and other magical effects can neither reduce my speed or cause me to be paralyzed or restrained.
Yes.
And then I'm moving 70 feet, pelting it down the corridor.
Right, I'm going to move you across to another map.
Yeah, I'm outside.
You are outside. This is the map of the Undercity, where you, as a gang, you dealt with the hill giants who are living in the ruins to the north.
Yeah.
And then Pamela Flatbread directed you to the southern set of buildings.
Yeah.
And you snaked your way into them and found where you've just been adventuring. Well, you've just re-emerged. So this little rail track spews out onto the floor of this cave. About 20, 30 feet ahead of you, sort of running as fast as its little legs will carry it towards, you think, the ladder in the northern part of the cave, which you think goes up to the main city, is this dwarf with the stovepipe hat and the kind of patchwork work smock. I don't know if it knows that it's running away from you because you're just smoke.
Yeah, she just sees smoke coming out of
Absolutely terrified, right? Out of nowhere, suddenly she was enveloped in smoke. In the middle of this smoke, there's this little demon that keeps chopping bits out of her. She flees, it comes after her, and now the smoke is billowing up behind her.
Quite scary, really, Buggy.
Yeah, she shoots a glance over her shoulder as she's running and sees the smoke billing out of the end of the railway passage and just looks absolutely terrified. Is that the end of your turn?
I'll shout, "Stop or die."
Okay, give me an intimidation. Do you have an intimidation?
Well, just basic straight roll. 17.
17 is good. Okay, I'm going to make a roll. Okay. She stops. She doesn't look happy about it. This is silly because of the round system, right? She's in theory frozen in time until it's her turn. She looks like she's going to stop.
Right, is that a blue dragon in the north? Any dragons flying around?
There's been a blue dragon corpse lying at the bottom of that ladder since you first got here, with all of its fangs and scales and claws and stuff all robbed out of it for trophies, you think?
Yep, okay.
Right, I'll see you in a tick.
Right, you could get down and see kind of where the bears go feeding.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He's back.
This person has dropped down beside you, Scaly. What do you want to do?
This is very bizarre. It's now trapped down here with us. Well,
Yeah.
except that none of us are trapped down here. We can all get to the level above. Sessions already has. Parker can just walk up the wall.
I think it's getting through the rails you might need to consider.
But you're up there, so you can...
I can open it, of course.
You can open it. I'm the only one who can't fly or walk up walls, but I can misty step 30 foot, so I'm assuming...
I could carry you.
Or you could carry me. Yeah, obviously Bugraft has enthralled this creature somehow. The Smoke Lord. The last 2 sessions we've just farted around in this room, basically.
Yes.
We need to move on.
Well, Scaly, it's your turn.
Good day.
Good day, O servant of the Smoke Lord.
Yes, we'll have to discuss that.
It is an honour to meet one of the Pantheon.
What have the discussions with the Smoke Lord been?
The Smoke Lord instructed me to find you.
Oh, right. And now you have found us, what next?
I have a great story to tell.
Carry on.
You want to hear its story?
Yeah, crack on.
I will stop being invisible.
This thing says, tonight's beer, by the way, Paul, is happy.
Happy.
The old staple. Happy.
Happy.
Cheers, readers. The world is full of grimness.
But at least you can drink happy.
I'm having a little glass of happy, and hopefully this is a little escape for you all from all of the nasties. Right. Johnny's going to be bored. Oh well, what can we do?
Well, sauce for the goose.
True. I will tell you my tale. My name is Monster P. McWheat.
Monster P. McWheat.
O servant of the Smoke Lord, your master has freed us, but at the cost of all of our number. He looks around, and there's like dead, those that wait, lying in the room that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of burnt to a crisp by Burple. I am the last survivor. I am from Jesh Purgul, what you would call the lands that wait.
Yes.
And thus I am Jesh Narhadik, one that waits. Let me tell you of our history, for it is a troubled one. Give me an insight check. Parker, Scaly.
Yeah, we know.
Sessions, you can hear this voice pretty clearly, I think, if you're standing on that upstairs balcony.
Yeah, I'm listening to hear what he has to say.
Well, you give me a
18.
You give me an insight check.
9.
I mean, 18 is going to be good enough. You get the sense, Parker, Sessions, if you roll high enough.
28.
Scaly, yeah, wow. Scaly, you didn't.
No.
That you don't know much about those that wait, but certainly this one looks like it likes telling stories. It's been waiting, and it started.
Oh.
Our history is a troubled one. Looks at you, Parker. Our origins are hidden, like the hollow behind the waterfall. Our bards tell that we were born from a great cataclysm, the same sundering of the earth that drained the seas and emptied our land. Our history is a history of enthrallment. Our minds too quick to bend to the will of others, our hearts too eager to give fealty to those that would dominate us. Our history is the history of a place. It starts facing backwards and forwards, like a TED talk.
Yep.
The place Kuluth Mar.
We've heard of that.
And it is the history of its destruction. In the 4,000 seasons since the fall of the spire, our peoples have been dispersed, nomadic, centerless, like the termite whose mound is destroyed by the great sloth. I and a small number of my fellows heard tell of a pathway that could lead us from Jesh Purgul to another place. It encompasses you and everything around it. A place of alien wonders. It stares at you, Parker, like, what are you? Perhaps there. And then it sort of looks around. It can only see Parker, right?
Yeah, Scaly's invisible.
Perhaps here. And it kind of meets your gaze, Parker. We would find the lore we craved, the history denied to us, and a cure for the weakness in our will. We followed this path, and we found a stream that lives in the bed of a mighty river. The stream led us into a great gorge, and we followed it through the gorge as it wound and fell from the northern tip of our lands until it emptied into a lake somewhere your kind, again it meets eyes with you, Parker, called the Wormcrawl Fissure. That cursed extremity of this canyon. Again, it lifts its hands, it kind of encompasses everything around it. When we emerged, the sky was hidden by mists and cloud, rather like our history. We crossed the lake, but lost some of our number to a creature from the depths. We followed a red river that fed into the lake's eastern shore and passed beneath a great red waterfall. We followed the gorge up, and to the east. We lost more to wyverns that struck from a clifftop eyrie. We fled, but not before a great red dragon emerged. Maybe the eyrie was its lair? It took flight above us. We hid, and eventually it flew away to the west. We lived off brackish water and strange fungi. We climbed further east. There were effigies there, skeletons mounted on frames, wrapped in worms made of leather or paper. At last, we emerged above the cloud lair and found the broader part of this canyon. Once again, it extends its arms. Not long after, we came upon Kongun Thulnir, where we sought shelter and food. And we were offered both. And we were offered work by Coldtooth, the mistress of the carrion pits. But once again, we were undone. Foolishly, we swore an oath of loyalty and became once again enthralled, as seems to be our fate. But now the Smoke Lord has driven Coldtooth away and we are free. Though I must confess, since the Smoke Lord delivered us from enthrallment, I feel a great loyalty to it growing in my heart. Now, you must tell me your story, great green creature. And it looks at you expectantly.
What can I say? How can I return the story? I say,
Tell them how we got here.
It looks up sharply
Yeah.
at that voice out of nowhere. What sorcery is this?
Tell them how we got here. Tell them what we're looking
I'm
for.
just wondering how to incorporate the, in inverted commas, Smoke Lord.
Well, I would like to. I will ask. Can you describe before we do
Yes.
this? Could you please describe to us the Smoke Lord?
It looks past you, Parker, at this mystery disembodied voice. It says, "The Smoke Lord is smoke, from which issues a voice of great command and wisdom. The Smoke Lord smote Coldtooth, drove her from this place and freed me, admittedly at the cost of the lives of all of my friends. But every cloud..."
Coldtooth.
Yeah, it's not a name you recognise.
Tell us about Coldtooth.
She is a master alchemist. She manufactures, well, we manufacture under her direction, the crawler loads. She harvests the worms, it points out into the cave. She amasses their venom in missiles that can be flung or fired with a dreadful, deadly, paralyzing load.
Do you have a store of this?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've seen some. Charlgar had a bunch piled up in a stack behind him. You think you've seen some in the storage chamber. I mean, I've described these weird burlap sacks that look like they're sort of seeping nastiness.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That ties that one up. Okay.
That is the function of this place.
And does the Smoke Lord have a message for us?
The Smoke Lord instructed me to come and find you.
And then what?
To bring you to him. But then he disappeared. He billowed away.
You nearly
as
said...
Smoke Lords are wont to do.
You nearly said fled.
And you tell me that you do not wish to ascend, you wish to descend. Since you are the fellow members of the Smoke Lords' pantheon, albeit more junior godlings, I feel impelled to obey you. But then that is the problem. Overall.
I think we know where this is going.
Something got lost in translation there, didn't it?
Yes.
The Smoke Lord Altar Boy appears to have
tried to,
miscommunicated.
Anyway, Parker, Sessions, I mean, we don't need to stick with this, but...
All right,
well, let's
go
a bit of a story.
Yes.
You can tell him how you've travelled many miles to come here and
we come
whatever.
From Even Star and Diamond Lake and, you know...
How we've trained the Smoke Lord...
Our pet, the Smoke Lord.
Mentored him.
Yeah.
This is very interesting what you tell me. The Smoke Lord is but a plaything of your wise majesties.
Let us introduce you to the Over Smoke Lord, Sessions IPA, who is the overarching.
Okay.
Given that these people seem to be those who wait, they're very quick to follow a leader.
They're bored of waiting.
Yeah.
It might be a pun, Lucas. Yeah?
Oh, God.
There's more than one meaning to the word wait, Lucas. Just throw it together, Lucas.
Yeah.
Why are they called those that wait, you may wonder? Well, it might be something to do with that.
We're finding out now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep...
Friend Guy Storyteller, there was stuff in that story.
Yeah, and we've forgotten it all already.
Concentrating quite hard on
it later.
And, it's already gone.
We can make a presumption that
what we need to do is let's go and
Somebody was
Write it
frantically
down.
scribbling.
yeah,
Write it down.
write it down. Let's go up.
Yeah.
Parker.
Yes.
Let's
Well, I
go
was
up.
all prepared to. I didn't realize that he was going to. Can he get back up? It seemed to me to be rather sort of hapless trying to get down. I just assumed that he was going to open the thing up so that we could go up. But
Yeah, ask him. How do you plan
how
on
do we
getting
get
back up again?
now?
I had no plan, O Masters.
Okay, right.
Shall I throw the lever?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you throw the lever, Sessions, you copy what he did.
Yeah.
You can lock it into place, and the gate opens in the roof of the cage. Carrion crawlers start looking quite interested.
Parker, can you carry me?
I can, yes.
I've been carrying you for about the last 4 years.
Thanks.
We better
so
call
much.
Burple to us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Then let's coordinate this a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's get Burple, wait for Burple
Yeah.
to come, and then we
Yeah.
open the
Oh.
thing and we all go up in a concerted action.
Yes, that's fine.
Right.
You can instruct Sessions to keep the gate closed until you're ready to go.
Yes, that's
You
what
can
I'm
climb the rope, or Parker can just walk up the walls or
Yeah.
whatever. If you use the bits at the side of the cage flush with the wall, you've got no risk from carrion crawlers. Monster P. McWheat can clamber up with you, and you can all
Yeah.
exit the cage at the top. Pick a good moment, like crossing the road,
Yeah,
to clamber over it without encountering a carrion crawler,
yeah.
and you can all end up in the northern part of your map.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Let's do it.
Let's move things on, because I'm bored with that room.
God, yeah. You're all gathered at this upper area. It looks like I've described this so many times, we're not going to get into it in too much detail. There's a corridor heading south and a dead end full of junk. There's a corridor heading off to the west that is back away from the cave, bends gently down to the south in a light curve
Mm-hmm.
that you can kind of see round. Sessions is by the switch.
We'll reset the-
Although he's invisible.
We'll reset the cage so it's shut, and then we head down.
Scuffle.
I don't mind going first. Head down the corridor.
Well, I think that's a good point to leave and me to pick up with Johnny. I think we've been around everybody. We have been around everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and
Okay.
pick up with Johnny. I will see you in a moment.
Right.
I'll take advantage of that to make a cup of tea then.
I'm going to go and get it.
Hello.
Hello.
On 16, Coldtooth stops dead and turns to the smoke and says,
What do you want from me?
I want the key to the vault. I think that's what it was.
The key?
Yes.
Chalgar spoke of a key.
Yes.
Chalgar placed the key with the mother worm. You'll never get it from there. I have no key. I have nothing of value for you.
I'm running up, and then I'm going to sink my axe into her head.
that's not very nice.
I'm going to use the flat of the axe and do
Sure.
non-lethal damage.
Well, you can choose right at the last
Yeah,
instant.
okay,
You can
yeah.
choose at the last points you do a subdual now, can't you? Okay, well, make your roll to attack. I've got the
An advantage because I'm in the smoke. 21,
to hit.
23 points of damage.
She looks pretty wounded at this point.
And again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's not
re-roll
so
the
good.
one.
We will.
We-roll.
Gonna we roll the one.
We-roll. Getting a
an 18.
31.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I do... oh, shit. Oh, I can only re-roll. We-roll.
Yeah.
10 points of damage.
She's still alive. Can you give me a perception check?
27.
You can hear a kind of of something very big
Shit.
getting closer from over the edge of the cliff. Not immediately on you, but just below you. What else do you want to do in your turn? Anything else?
Sorry,
That's it.
this is open to the sky, isn't it?
It's just the open floor of the cave.
Yeah.
Buildings piled up against the walls of the cave. The precipice off to your west. And of course this walkway that leads off to the southwest. Like a kind of stone bridge that leads to a pinnacle of rock which has got a fortress on it, like a watchtower on it, where there's a heated battle is going on between giants and dragons.
Yeah.
And you can hear the sound still of Talabir encouraging other defenders.
What's that big ladder over in the north?
Big ladder goes up to the level above.
Okay.
It's just a big ladder.
The other thing I'm going to do in my action is I'm going to... I haven't moved my full movement, so I'm moving round her
Yes.
side. And
Yes.
then I'm throwing my... interact with an object. I'm throwing my portable hole in a square
Portable hole.
in the direction
Yeah.
that she was running. So I think it's probably...
So you're just throwing it down on the ground, just between her and the ladder, basically, which is what she was heading for.
Yeah, so she'll probably hopefully fall in it.
Right, well, we'll get into that in a minute. Right, I will see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Things carrying on in the broom cupboard pretty much as they have done for a while now. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
On 13, it is Scaly.
Right then, Skelly's going to start heading west. He's going to go west.
Okay, well, what you find is a chamber. There's a horrible acid tang in here. It's a weird shape. There are rounded alcoves in the north wall and the south wall. The room is about 100 foot east to west and about 30 foot north-south. So we're talking, readers, about a landscape-shaped room if you're looking at the map. But on the north wall and the south wall, there are 3 large rounded alcoves, each of which is holding a large stone vat. And that's where this odour is coming from. There are stone bins and tables covered with beakers, alembics, and there are burners. There's the tunnel that comes in from the east, that's your tunnel, and there's another little tunnel that runs off to the west in the opposite wall. There are some dead, those that wait.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they've died a death of 1,000 cuts. No big wounds to speak of. In the southeastern corner of this chamber, there is a plinth, and on that plinth there is a crystal ball. And in the crystal ball, you can see a view of the room that you've just been in downstairs, looking from the perspective of somebody standing behind you as you look into the cage, so looking the same direction. As you stand there, the view changes, and it is now looking at the, as it were, apron of ground at the top of the stairs that you climbed to get here in the first place, with the great closed red door to your left as you look through this thing. It's like a fisheye lens.
Yeah.
And as you stand there, goggling at this thing, it switches to a view inside the red door, looking at the area where that first trap fell. Then it flips to a view looking back down the corridor where the second portcullis trap was dropped, and there was that second green slime pit and where Chalgar was standing, and so forth.
Video surveillance, innit?
So basically, this is where the traps were controlled from.
Yeah, something was going on. The exit from this chamber, which heads off to the west.
Yes.
It's a 10-foot wide corridor that immediately curves north, and it is laid with Parker and Sessions are both there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've moved around it.
Are you all piling along together?
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
Yeah. The important thing here is that those of you from Diamond Lake
Yes.
recognize it. It's a mine truck. It's a mine cart layout. I mean, there isn't actually a truck there, but it's tracks. So it looks like there was some kind of rail system set up that you would access by going into the passageway directly off to your west. That is what you see with your turns of running down and having a look.
Okay, well, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Sure.
Keep piling west?
Yeah.
Keep piling west.
Okay. Right, I'm going to go back to the broom cupboard.
Right.
Can we hear anything
buggy,
in front of us?
Buggy.
No, not
buggy,
immediately.
buggy.
There's nothing immediate, no.
Here, boy.
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Hello. Right. Coldtooth does make a run for it, but I'm going to roll to see which way she goes. She might try and push past you. I'm going to make a perception check. Does she know where you are, roughly? It's the important thing. 11. Yeah, I think she's got a sense of where you are. You get the sense that she's managed to track your movement around her after you hit her.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that she's going to run directly away from you. I'm going to make a roll. On a 1 to 3, she keeps going the way she was going. On a 4 to 6, she's going to change her mind and run directly away from you, as far as she can tell. Getting a 2. She keeps going the way she's going, so she runs straight into your portable hole. How big is the portable hole? It's like 12 foot across or something?
6 feet across.
It's only 6 feet across.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's filling that whole 5 foot square.
Well, she gets a chance to grab at the ground. She's going to make a saving throw at disadvantage because she can't see anything. Oof. Okay, that's enough. That's a 16, but it's a disadvantage. Second roll, she gets... Oh, so she runs straight into your portable hole.
Right.
And then flings her arms out and grabs hold of the ground on either side of it. That is her turn.
Okay, can I get an attack of opportunity as she moves? No, she hasn't left the threatened square.
She's not left your what's-it. The next thing that happens is an enormous form rears and rises up from the chasm to your west. It is a huge, ancient,
bloody hell,
blue dragon. It opens its giant maw and hisses and regards you, Buggy. You get the sense that it can see you, despite the smoke. It's wearing on one of its claws a ring that starts to glow white hot, and it reaches out towards you. Can you give me a strength check?
Strength, so plus 11.
I've got a number. You need to match it.
I'm not raging. Oh, natural 20, 31.
You feel momentarily as it reaches towards you, you feel yourself sort of gripped and sort of moving like against your own volition, like a great fist has kind of grabbed you and has started to lift you up into the air, and you kind of struggle against it and you shake it off.
Oh,
it's your turn on 13.
I think actually my freedom of movement would prevent that anyway.
You don't think your freedom of movement helped you there?
Okay. How easy is it for me to stamp on her fingers or push her into the hole?
You can make a shove attack, which is an opposed strength check.
Yeah.
That's how we ran it with trying to push Parker into the green slime pit. Let's stick with that system. You roll a d20 and add your strength modifier. And she rolls a d20 and adds her strength modifier.
Yeah.
And we see who wins. And if you win, you can push her 5 feet. So I'm going to assume that means you can dislodge her.
Yeah. A couple of questions. I get 2 attacks. Does this count as my full action? Or is it just one of my...
It's using the attack action, yes.
Okay. First I'm going to start raging, which gives me bonuses on strength checks while I'm raging.
Bonus, or do you make them at advantage? I think you just make them at advantage.
Yeah. Okay, its first roll is a 17, and the second roll is a 26.
26, she can't beat that, no matter what she rolls.
Okay, so she
plunges into the portable hole.
Right, I'll just describe what that means. You can use an action to close a portable hole by taking hold of the edges and folding it up. Oh, that's an action.
That you can't do. Yeah.
Any creatures within
that's
it
something you can do next turn. You got a move left.
Yeah. Folding the cloth closes the hole, and any creatures or objects within it remain in the extra dimensional space. Mm-hmm. If the hole is...
So they climb out if you don't close it?
Yeah, if the hole is folded up, a creature within the hole's extra dimensional space can use an action to make a DC strength check. On a success, the creature forces its way out.
Yeah, but what if you don't fold it up? What if it's left open? Is it 6 foot deep?
It's 10 feet deep.
10 feet deep. Right, so she's to the bottom of a 10-foot pit.
Yeah.
Right, so even if you don't close the hole, her getting back out is going to be a struggle.
Right, I'm going to... I'm going to run back.
You got a move action, that's what you got.
Yeah, I'm 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm pegging it back into the corridor.
And leaving your portable hole.
Well, I can't... closing it. Can I pick it up?
What does it say?
You can use an action to close the portable hole. Well, I'm not closing it. I just want to pick it up.
No, I think that's what closing it is.
Mm.
It becomes the size of a piece of cloth, doesn't it?
Yeah. Fine black cloth, soft as silk, folded up to the dimensions of a handkerchief. It unfolds to a circular sheet 6 feet in diameter. You can use an action to unfold the portable hole. Oh.
Right.
And place
which you did. But you also attacked. Okay, well, we'll just hand wave that.
Sorry, I thought it was just...
And it's another action to close it and fold it up. To turn it back into a handkerchief so that she's trapped inside it is an action. So you can either leave it out just as a hole in the ground and run away, or you can wait and use your action next turn to fold it up.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Any creature inside an open portable hole can exit the hole by climbing out of it.
Which we'll worry about when it's her turn next.
Yeah.
But that's not for a while. But you've got to move.
No, I won't use my move.
Okay.
Get zapped by the dragon.
I'm going to jump back and see the others.
Just made me think he's an absolute shite.
Hello.
Oh,
right.
End of politics discussion.
Chaps. Are you piling down this?
We'll pile down.
Train track.
Is Monster P. McWheat following us?
Monster P. McWheat is following along as best as it can.
Right.
Yes.
I'm going to ask McWheat.
Yeah.
Where is the Smoke Overlord?
The Smoke Lord?
The Smoke Lord. Smoke Underlord. Underling.
Our Lord went this way and kind of points down the way that you're looking. Down the way of the train track.
Okay.
You piling down the train track?
Yep.
Okay.
Rolling down the rails.
You're rolling down the rails. Okay, I'm just going to move you to a new map.
Ooh.
You emerge out onto the floor of the Undercity. This railway track has curved its way in a broad series of bends, ever descending, and effectively vomited you out onto the floor of the Undercity. The cave floor stretches out to your west. There's the buildings with Pamela Flatbread and the hill giants to your north. There's a cluster of buildings behind you that you just emerged from, dominating the center of the open area of ground in the cave is a sphere of smoke. From behind you, you hear Monster P. McWheat say, "Aha! The Smoke Lord!" Behind and above the sphere of smoke, rearing up from the depths beneath, is a gargantuan, ancient blue dragon, wearing a ring on one of its claws that is burning with a white heat. It opens its maw and it shrieks in exultant triumph as it sees you. We will find out. If you've just run from the frying pan into the fire, is that Buggy in the cloud of smoke?
Yes.
Or is it a distraction?
When we pick things up next week.
Run away.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. Kings of the Rift and Age of Worms are copyright Wizards of the Coast. Kings of the Rift was written by Greg A. Vaughan. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!